Welcome back. Hello, ballers. This is Jacqueline, and this is Chesticles, Brass Balls Comedy. I'm a performer. I'm an entertainer. I'm a goofball. I'm just a wild and crazy gal. I was thinking of this funny story when we were kids. I grew up in Philadelphia proper, Northeast Philadelphia, and we lived in a row home in the section of Mayfair, actually, which was so great. Back then, I know you hear about it all the time, us Gen Xers. We just stayed outside and played, and we did really drink from the garden hose, and we played in the street. We played kickball and hockey and roller skated and jumped rope and Chinese jump rope, and it's just manhunt, wall ball, just you name it, all the games. It was just so fun. But we had this neighbor. She lived 2 houses down, and her name was Mrs. Conway. And Mrs. Conway was a widow, and she lived alone, and she was a very, very nice lady. So I guess she would see us coming home from school, and she'd call us. And as soon as she called, me and my little sister were like, okay, we know it's her, because she always called for the same thing. And this is what she would say. We'd answer the phone, hello, and she'd go, why, listen, hon. I don't think she ever used either one of our names, because like many people, they get my sisters and I confused, and that's totally fine. But this is exactly what she would say. She would say, why, listen, hon, do me a favor, will you go down to the store and get me 2 packs of Parliament? And then we'd go down to the store and get her 2 packs of Parliament, which back then, it wasn't very much money, but just say it was, I don't know, just say it was $1 a pack. But then she'd give us $2, which, that's good money. That's good money to walk right down to the corner store. And you were allowed to do that back then. You didn't even need a note. And, it was like a small town feel in that, even though Philadelphia is such a big city, but that little section, everybody kind of knew each other. And like I said, we all played in the street, and there was a ton of kids on the street. But yeah, I was thinking about Mrs. Conway. She was so great. And that's how she would talk. And then, as the years went on and smoking all those Parliaments, it would be like, why, listen, hon, and it was the same way every single time. And my sister and I used to laugh. Sometimes we were too lazy to go. We're like, no, you go. No, you go. And we were like, no, answer the phone. We have to answer the phone. The phone was hooked into the wall. And it was a trimline phone. And I forget what color that one was. I know we had a blue one and we had a peach one. But yeah, it was sat on the coffee table. And, you answered it. And that was it. There was no option of not answering your phone. If you didn't answer your phone, people worry about you. Now you just hit, send a voicemail or, delete call if you think it's spam or something like that. But back then, that was like, you didn't answer your phone. Something's wrong. They're going to come calling the police and make sure you're okay, because it just wasn't really an option to not answer the phone. Plus, it was loud. It was like that real old-fashioned loud, like such a shrill, But I miss Mrs. Conway. Miss being a kid. I really do. I miss being a kid. I miss all the fun we used to have and all the laughing and just, gosh, life was so easy. You didn't have a care in the world. You just didn't have a care in the world. We did have police visit our house because I told you my dad was an alcoholic. We made the paper a couple times, but police were there quite a bit. But it was still fun. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love the way we grew up. And my dad always said, stay close to your sisters. That's all you got. When we're gone, that's all you have is each other. And I thank the Lord every day I'm still so close with my sisters. I call us the braid. The braid. Because there's 2 of them and 1 of me, so that makes 3. And we're the braid. Just awesome. Love those girls. Love their children. I love their children's children. I am so blessed with such wonderful, wonderful family. I really am. But, everything you hear about Gen Xers, that's true. I mean, that's not made up. And then, the street lights would come on, and, we were, depending on, because, you have to do the time change, but we were usually allowed to stay out and catch lightning bugs. Remember that? Did you ever catch lightning bugs? Oh my God, that was so fun. And I know this is so sad now when I think about it, but we used to pull the light off the lightning bug and put it on our finger and pretend it was a ring. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, I could never imagine hurting a bug like that now, but when you're a kid, you eat dirt. You just don't care about things like that. But, I was thinking of Mrs. Conway. Why, listen, hon. She just had that voice and gave us a nice tip for going to get... So I guess technically, my sister and I were the first, Door Dashers. We were the first Door Dashers. It was all cash, though. Cash Dashers. Why, listen, hon, can you get me 2 packs of Parliament? And then she'd give us $2. Oh my gosh, what a time. What a time. But yeah, I wanted to share that story with you. I liked growing up in my neighborhood in our now they call them townhouses, but in Philly they were row homes. And it was a great street to grow up on. We had some mean neighbors too. I'm not mentioning any names, but some neighbors, like if we were playing ball and the ball bounced and went on their lawn, they'd come out and scream, "Get your ball off my lawn!" And I think about that, like, they're probably, at the time, younger than I am now. I'm 58. But they, were old looking, even though, they probably weren't that old. You know how that is, back then? They just were so old. And I could not imagine yelling at a kid to get their ball off my lawn. I don't know. It's just so weird. There's a couple mean ones. And I get it. Kids can be annoying. I mean, where I live now, I'm on the corner in a cul-de-sac where all the grass and trees and everything is. So the kids are always out right outside my window and they're screaming and hollering. And I mean, it doesn't bother me at all because I know they're having fun. But I can imagine back then that, we were noisy. There was a lot of us. And we did holler and scream just like all kids did, playing ball. But yeah, that one. And one time she took it in. She took it in her house. She took our ball in her house. Who does that? Oh, yeah. There's not many, but there's 1 or 2 mean ones on that street. I didn't like her much. And she never smiled either. She didn't have children. But, so maybe she just didn't like kids. I don't know what her story was, really, because she really didn't talk. I mean, I lived next to her for 19 years. I didn't really know much about her. But other than she was mean, don't walk on her lawn, don't get our ball on her lawn, do not play anywhere near her lawn. I mean, these people were fastidious with their lawns. Yeah, that was crazy, that one. And then at the end of the street, we had a family that, we played with the child. Well, they had a couple kids, but the one child that was our age, we used to play with her all the time. But they had a dog named Max. And Max was a disturbed, psychotic, evil, vicious dog. I am not kidding you. This dog would chase us and bite us all the time. My sister ended up going to the hospital and getting stitches. I mean, not just me and my sister, but everybody on the block. If he got out, Max is out! Max is out! Run for your lives! Run for your lives! Because Max would. And do you know, this is actually a sad story. The woman had all his teeth taken out so he couldn't bite anybody. Oh my God, it's breaking my heart thinking about it. As a kid, you don't think about that inhumanity of, well, not humanity, but it's not humane. That's the word I'm looking for. To do that to an animal. And then she had him declawed. This poor dog was gumming it with no claws on his paws. But you know what? He was vicious and he was biting people. See, nowadays, if that happened, and it happened more than once, the police would make you put the dog down. But that didn't happen back then. That dog just kept biting people and biting people and biting people and biting people and running and chasing. And he was a strong dog, like they'd come into the front door, and if he just would push them through and get out. And, oh man, he was a scary dog. Yeah, Mad Max. He was something else. I think he bit just about every kid in the neighborhood. He really did. He was just a crazy dog. But then, so no teeth. Imagine Gummy Max. No teeth. He's got no teeth. And he's got no claws, because she had him declawed because he would really scratch up people. I mean, I'm telling you, this dog would destroy you. He must have had some sort of a personality disorder. I don't know. But then, the poor woman, the mom, she was walking him one day, and he pulled her so hard, she fell down. She broke both of her arms. Now that is the love of a dog. To keep that dog after all, and then, because then the neighbors started to not like her. She wasn't a mean lady. She was a nice lady, but she just had no control over this dog. And so we were all afraid of it. But imagine this poor Max, though. He's got some sort of psychological problems, clearly, because he just was the angry dog. And then she goes through all this. I'm sure it was very expensive to have all that done. I don't know what he ate. I guess he must have just licked up his wet food or something, because he couldn't chew anything. Imagine that. He couldn't even chew a bone. And then having his claws taken out. And then, he'd still jump on you, but at least, you weren't getting bitten or scratched to death, or mauled by him. But then she's walking him on his walk, and he pulls her so hard, knocks her down, she breaks both her arms. And I look out the window, and I see her walking Max with 2 broken arms. I am not kidding you. This is the truth. This poor... I shouldn't laugh, but, could you imagine? Could you imagine? She's with 2 casts on her arms. She had 2 casts on her arms walking this dog. Oh, my word. It was such a different time. It was fun, though. Max bit me, but I never got stitches. But my poor sister did. Yeah, baby, she got stitches. Had to go to the hospital and all that. It was not good. She still has a scar. Well, I'm sure Max is long gone now, as well as his owner. But isn't that a weird story? Who does that? Or I don't know. Maybe Did that happen in any dogs? Or people that had dogs in the neighborhood? I mean, I just can't imagine it. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Oh, but they were fun. They were fun days. All right, you guys. I'll sign off for now, and I'll look forward to hearing... Well, no. You hopefully will look forward to hearing back from me on my next episode. Thank you so much for all your support, all your views, all your likes, all your follows. It's so awesome. It is just so awesome. And now I'm on TikTok and X, formerly known as Twitter, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Yeah, so it's fun. I mean, people think I'm funny, I guess, or goofy, or I don't know. Like I always say, laugh at me, laugh with me. As long as you're laughing, it doesn't matter to me. All right, ballers, you take care. See you soon. Bye.